Hi, this is Tanya from Tanya Love Butter, and here for the Pisces new moon, Pisces full moon reading. Sorry, I just had a phone call there that knocked me off course. This is one of the things I want to talk about as well, because with this moon, it is really, really interesting. It's what is getting in our way. Okay, so this is the Pisces moon. So I'm just going to wait a second, get some people to come on here. I know people aren't getting notifications now. People keep messaging me, telling me that I can't do anything about it. I don't know. I don't know why this is happening. So, like I say, a couple of minutes, and then I will just crack on. So tonight is the Pisces full moon, but it's also, we have Saturn in the mix. Okay, now Saturn is the harsh teacher. I heard somebody say the other day that Saturn whispers and whispers and then eventually shouts, and this is what I feel is going to happen with this Pisces moon. So Pisces is very dreamy. It's all about our dreams. It's all about, where we want to go, what we can actually do with our lives. Now, there were some notes coming through this morning. They were speaking very, very fast and quick to me this morning. So I'm just going to check these notes, and then I will go into the cards and see what's there. So what this moon, this full moon, because remember, full moons are about illumination. They're bringing something to the forefront that maybe might have been hidden or might not have been seen. And what this moon wants to say to you is, where are you hiding from yourself? Because, like I say, this is about dreams. It's about possibilities, not limitations. So anything that is getting in the way is going to be highlighted hugely over these next few days. Might have been a few days before, or it, like I say, it probably go on till at least the end of this week. I feel that we're going to get this for a few months. I feel this is the start of something because it's the end of something. Okay, if that makes sense. So, um, what this is saying is, like, one of the things that gets in our way within life is our stories. This is what I work with my clients about, getting rid of their stories. Now, stories don't mean that things didn't happen to you and that isn't how the timeline of your life played out. What it means is to get attached to that story is what keeps us in the pain, in the hurt, in the suffering, in the victimhood, in the smallness, in the limited space. Okay, and that is that is, everybody's story. When I speak to them, my own included, it's the story and the attachment we have to that story that holds us back. So what this is saying here is, can we have the courage to actually inhabit our life rather than sitting thinking about it and putting this narrative to it? Because it's like, in order to be in this life, it is mind, body, and soul. They've got to be aligned. If we're just telling the stories, we're in the mind. Okay? The soul doesn't tell stories because the soul knows that whatever has happened for our growth. So this is where it gets interesting. And this is where I feel some people will struggle over these next coming days, because this is a very emotional moon. It's Pisces, it's water, it's all of the feels, like all of the feels and feels that you didn't even know you have. That is Pisces energy, but it's very connected to spirit. It's ruled by Neptune. It's, like I say, it's otherworldly. And when we realize that we are spiritual beings and we're here to have this human experience and, to learn from it, then we realize that the stories that we're attached to are just kind of a script that is leading us to where we need to be. So this is saying, we try to, as I say, this is about hiding from yourself, but we hide from ourselves and our feelings via distractions, via addictions, via dreams that we don't think will ever happen. We try to comfort ourselves with something rather than actually look at, hold on, I am possible and I can do anything I want to do. We have autonomy. Every single one of us has our own life, but we are that busy living other people's lives or living a life that we will get validation and, praise from other people for living, that we don't actually live it. Okay. We're constantly looking for that approval. I had a conversation with my father the other week, and he'd said to me something. It was a really deep conversation. I don't paddle in the shallow end. And he said, we're okay, aren't we? And I said, yeah. I said, I can speak to you now about anything at all. At one time I didn't, because at one time I used to get scared that if I said something that you didn't like or pulled you up on something, that you would abandon me again, that you would reject me. And my own insecurity stopped me from being true to you. And now I don't need validation from you. If you're going to give me love, I'm going to take it and I'm going to receive that. And I'll receive that with massive gratitude. But I don't need that now. That was part of my old story, and that story is gone. So this is where we've got to look at where we are living a life that we need something from other people. And that is stopping us from being in our truth and being in our mind, body, and soul. So this is also, this moon is saying to us, step forward or step back. That's it. It's like a crossroads. It's very, very fated time, this. It's very connected to karma. So things will go around, In my own life, that has happened hugely as well, over the last few days. And it's like, we say that every ending is a beginning and every beginning is an ending, and we see that, and we see how the universe works. And to be honest, it's fucking beautiful. Like, I'm like mind blown with it. Wow, yeah, I get it. I get it 100% now. But I might go into that again a bit more, but I want to go through what they were telling me this morning in the order that they're telling me, because they're going, get to it. So this is it. When we take one step towards the gods will take 10 towards us. So our destiny is there. And the thing is, if we don't do the lessons in this life, we then have to come back and do them again. And it's going to get harder, So you might as well, you cannot hide from it. You cannot swerve it. You cannot anything. You've got to do the work, because even if it doesn't catch you in this lifetime, karma is going to get you, and you're going to have to do this work. And it's not to make things hard for you. It's to make things better. When you understand how it works, and, we take away this attachment to how we believe things can be, this is when we can live in freedom. So a majority of us are actually just breathing. We get up on a morning and we breathe. And we breathe, and we go to bed and we breathe. But where is the living in that? Where is the living? There are so many of us scared of dying. And believe me, I was told the other day, there is something coming again. Okay, I don't know if this is another lockdown. I don't know if it's another pandemic. But between now and the 23rd of September, there's going to be some brainwashing going on. So I'm warning you about that now. I might go into that deeper, but this isn't where I'm going today with it. But be aware, be aware that not all is what it seems, okay? When the right hand's waving, look at what the left hand is doing, because something is coming, and it's basically, I was told it's mind fuck, it's a mind fuckery. They're going to really try and mess with our mind for some reason. And this is where the illusion comes in, which Pisces can be connected to illusion as well. Now, the reason I mentioned that is because if something like that happens, we go into fear, okay? Now, every fear that we have is of dying, okay? We fear getting rejected. The reason we fear getting rejected is because in the olden days, when we were part of a tribe, then if we were rejected from that tribe, we were going to die, because we relied on the tribe for food, water, shelter, connection, all of that. So that is why we have this fear of rejection, okay? If we are up on a plane or whatever, we're scared, what if I die? And all of these people I speak to, talk about how scared they are of dying. But I feel these people should be scared of not living, because are you living your life every single day true to you, true to your dreams? Are you pursuing your dreams, or are you putting limits on yourself? This is what this isn't just me spouting on. This is what this Pisces moon is going to show you. If the song's coming in there, Blue Moon, and it is a blue moon tonight. And remember the song, it's you saw me standing alone, without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own. And that whole song is about, sitting looking at the moon, wishing they had this love and they weren't alone. And then within the story, it happens because the moon is there to help us. If we allow the moon to guide us, it will guide us. It will bring us what we want, but not if we have a big barrier in the way of it. Okay? So this is what this moon is wanting us to do. Now, the thing is, it's a total battle between the ego and the soul with this moon. Okay? The ego wants certainty. The ego wants labels. This is what this is, and this is where this is going. And this is going to be forever, blah, 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 blah. That's all ego stuff. The soul knows that everything is infinite, that everything is infinite, then, like I say, the ego wants this certainty. I was sitting in a cab the other day, and the taxi driver said to me, I can't wait to win the lottery. I want to win the lottery. And I said, okay, why do you want to win the lottery? And he said, well, because then I'll have won the lottery. And I said, okay, and then what would you do? He went, well, then I'd have loads of money. And I said, yeah, and then what would you do with the money? And he went, well, I don't know. I haven't even thought about that. And I said, so why do you want to win the lottery? Well, so I have the money. And it's like, but the money to do what? Have that dream of winning the lottery if you want. But you need to know what you're going to do when that happens, because we all have dreams. Every dream I have ever had in my life, I have done. There's one I haven't, and that doesn't just involve me. So that's why I can't do that at this moment. But, if you have a dream, then you're working towards something rather than actually just existing and getting through each day by breathing. So it's an interesting moon here. And I want to speak a little bit about love in this moment, okay? Because Pisces is about the emotions. It's about the feelings, I love, like I always say, Pisces is like the Page of Cups in tarot. He's wide-eyed, he's wonderful, he has this innocence, he believes in love, he's got this romantic, he wears rose-tinted glasses, and he writes poetry, he writes songs, he paints pictures, he's the creative. It's that beautiful, beautiful energy, that people go, oh God, his head's in the clouds. And it's like, yeah, it is, but his feet are on the ground. And what a beautiful way to be, because that person inspires people by being like that. And, living with an open heart in this world is the hardest thing to do, but it is the most essential. And to actually be open-hearted, even when you're, when things aren't going the way that you expected them to, or, when things don't turn out in that way, to still know, right, okay, love is present here. This weekend, I sat with San Pedro. Now, San Pedro is one of my go-to plant medicines, and it's very, very subtle. It's not like shrooms. It's not like ayahuasca. It's not like changa. It's not like any of the others. It's subtle. But God, it's beautiful. And it gets called the grandfather because of this wisdom that it imparts. And the tagline for San Pedro is open your heart, because your mind cannot comprehend what I'm about to tell you. We cannot actually figure it out in our logical mind, but we feel it, and we feel it with every sense of our being. And what came through this morning is that love never leaves. We can choose to step away from it, or we can decline it, offer. But love is always there, waiting for us to choose it and to claim it. When we step in our heart, if we look at anything in the world, right, any of the wrongs in the world, you know, the hatred, the nastiness, all of that. People say that love is missing. Love is never missing. It's always there. But the people who are wanting wars, the people who are nasty, the people who are all of that, they have stepped away from love. And one of the things that is most important, and it's going to be most important, and I keep banging on about this, but I am telling you, in these next 2 years, is remember love, okay? Drop into that heart space. That is what is going to be your weapon, and that is what is going to be your shield. That is what is going to protect you, okay? To be able to drop into that heart space. And when we look at, like, say, for instance, if we look at relationships, okay, because they are usually the biggest source of people's pain or disappointment or expectations or whatever. All of these things come from the expectations and the attachments we have to it, okay? We meet somebody, we fall in love. I like to say we rise in love because that's what it does. It elevates us, okay? We shouldn't go down. If we fall in love, then we're doing it wrong, okay? There shouldn't be this stumbling. We should rise. We should feel amazing. We should feel like we want to be that better person, you know, because that is what it does. It fuels us. It's like nourishment for our soul. But then people meet and then they go, right, okay, well, you need to love me in this way, and you need to do it like that, and you need to do it like that, and this is how this is meant to be, and blah, blah, blah. So we start putting the mind into the heart, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work like that. This is why, you know, we have problems with people. This is why families are pulled apart, because the ego comes in, and the ego wants to be right, and the ego wants to, you know, be fed in some way. And when the ego is being fed, the heart is being starved, okay? But we take away the ego, and there is nothing left but love. And I wrote this after I came back from the journey. And it was a journey, and it was beautiful, beautiful surroundings. I am deeply, deeply grateful for what I experienced and for the company I experienced that with. You know, there is nothing. It was, you know, when it was like going home, you know, when you go into that womb of home, that thing that we all crave. You know, there's an amazing book called The Search for the Magical Other, and it's about Jungian study regarding why we're always looking for that other person and what it is we need. And it's this womb, like this feeling of home, this feeling of being able to be ourselves, to be seen, to be heard, to be accepted, you know, that feeling of being safe. We all want that. But there are so many people that are terrified of that. They want it. Their soul is crying out of it, but they cut themselves off from it because they're scared of further pain. So it's kind of like, you know, it doesn't make sense, because you have to have that heart open in order for that heart to receive. If there's barriers in front and that heart is closed down, you will never get that which you seek or that which will heal you. So I came back and I sat and I just sat with words, and these were the words that were wrote. They might mean something, they might not, you know, but I'm putting them out there because I like to share, and then I will go into the cards. So I wrote, love is eternal. That was the first thing that they said to me. And then I sat with love. Love sat with me. I held love's space and love held me. I looked at love and love looked back. I spoke to love. Love listened. Love spoke, I listened. I felt love, love felt me. I asked love to release me. Love kindly let me go. I walked away with love from love, and love was what remained. Infinite. This is it. Love never, ever goes. You know, our attachment, our stories to it. But love is what we are. Love is where we come from, and love is where we will go back to. But we have to let it in, you know? And we've got so much attachment to how it's meant to be and how the movies say it is and everything. But even in this moment, I want to say to you, drop in your heart, okay? Whether you're pissed off, whether you're hurting, whether this moon's got you absolutely crazy or whatever, and think of a time that you felt that pure love with no conditions, no attachments, nothing. We often see it when we see little children or we see puppies or something like that, and we feel it and we smile. Nature can do that. I stood in nature the other day and I was like, God, I haven't smelled this hard, smiled this hard. It was everything. It was the smells. It was everything that was there. All of the senses were turned on, and when all of our senses are turned on, then whatever we feel is sense. Whatever we speak is sense. But when our senses are blocked, like our sensory, being is blocked, we cannot experience that level and that depth of pretty much devotion, because that's what it is. We don't have to go into temples and pray for 20 hours, to be devoted. We don't have to be there to feel love. We can feel it in any single moment. And what we've got to do is put our senses on, turn the mind off, and drop into our heart. And that's what it is. And eventually our mind will follow. And this is when we start to talk about the heart-mind coherence. Joe Dispenza teaches this beautifully, that when the heart and the mind are in unison, boom, that is when magic happens. That's when we can create anything that we want. So please try and find that love today, even in the messiness, even in whatever you're feeling. Picture a time when you felt that and start to believe again. Because if you felt that once, you can feel that again. Okay? Look at ways where you've blocked yourself off to it. What barriers are there? What limits have you put on yourself to not feel that? Why are them limits there? Is it because fear of getting hurt? Is it because fear of vulnerability? What is it? What is the fear coming from? Because wherever that fear is, I want to say to you, do the opposite. If that fear says, I'm scared of getting hurt, be open to be hurt. Because if you're hurt, that means that you're loving something. So we've got to look at our fears. We've got to look at them and see that they can teach us what it is that we truly want now, what our soul wants. But that fear steps in the way. You know what they say, when fear knocked on the door, faith went to answer it, and there was no one there. Our fears are not real. Our fears are linked to our past stories. We're only ever born with two fears: loud noises and bangs. Okay? Everything else is something we've experienced. And then we use that fear to keep us safe, when really that is keeping us suffocated. So it's like, have the courage to push past your fears. This is what this moon is about. And if you're doing it, great. It is going to support you, and you're going to be pushed forward and propelled, and so many possibilities are opened. If you're not, it's going to hurt. It's going to sting. That thing that you're trying to stop yourself from feeling, you're going to get it, because there is no hiding from this Pisces moon. And like I say, Saturn's there as well. Saturn is the harsh teacher, but he comes from a place of love, because he knows what you're meant to be. It's like the Hades Persephone story. He showed her the darkness of the world and and all the horrors of the world, because he knew that she couldn't become what she was meant to be if she lived this little innocent life. I relate to that story so much. The pain that I've experienced is what has got me to my understanding now. So that pain, that was the biggest gift I got from people. So many people in my life that that have caused me pain. I am so grateful, because, that got me to an understanding of where I've got to be. It propelled me. It was like giving me steroids, in my spiritual journey and understanding. And then that allows me to pass that wisdom on. Wisdom only comes from experience, So, scared of getting hurt again? The ego is. The soul isn't, because the soul knows, and once you've experienced pain on that level, then it kind of toughens you up a bit, but also softens you. And I can tell you now, so many people that I know, the people who you see who get it, who just live through life and love through life, they are the people that have had so much pain. As I said, I had this journey on Saturday and Monday, and I came home. There was a lot to contemplate, I was just allowing it to pass through. And I got a phone call from my friend who I lived in Brazil with, and instantly just they're there. They're just, this person lives in love. This person has had so many bad things happen to their life. Their mother took their own life. So many things. This person ended up in prison not that long ago, and in the prison had everybody meditating and doing Wim Hof breathing, because they live in love at all times and anything is possible. So straight away plans were being made. It was like, right, okay, we're on the same frequency. Boom, boom, boom. This is it. This is what we're going to do. And I believe in them plans, because when you have that open heart and you're open to anything, then anything can happen. Okay? So, right, I've pulled some cards about this moon, and I want to see what it's in. Oh, yeah, look at that. That trip. What a crazy trip this is as well. And that's what life is. It's a crazy trip, man. We start to enjoy the ride, because otherwise it's like, there's no fun at the fair. And everybody goes, life isn't fair. And it's like, life is life. That's it. It's not meant to be fair. It's meant to teach you. It's meant to learn you. I feel life has dealt me some low blows, but them low blows have led to my high highs, So that's it. That's the roller coaster. It's got to go like that. That's the thrill of it all. So what the cards are saying here is that this moon is about untangling, okay? Untangling. Find that thread in that ball of mess that is currently in front of you, and start to unravel it and unravel it and unravel it and unravel it, okay? I guarantee that ball of mess is not just your doing. There will be other people's energies in that ball of mess, which will be causing that mess, okay? What they're saying here is this is a time to collaborate with people, okay? Collaborate. Everything within our life, this isn't just in work. We need to collaborate. We need to connect. We need to create, okay? And this is here. It's almost like, right, okay, the lights are turning. It's like, on your marks, get set, go. So I love this. And it's like, it's all of the selves, this even collaborating with ourselves, collaborating with our inner child, they're showing me, which is so beautiful, collaborating with the person we are now, and collaborating with our higher self. Okay, can we incorporate them all together? Can we bring that in? Never showed me that before. That's absolutely beautiful what they're saying here. Because this is where we weave the story and the tapestry of our lives. This is what they want us to do. And they want us to create. And I'm getting this, and this is like, whoa, the feelings I'm getting as I'm reading this here. It's they want us to like almost take a hop, skip, and a jump. That's it, it's got to be, it's got to be freedom. Because if we don't do it this time, it's going to come round again. It's going to come round again. It's like, if we're not taking the lessons, it's like being in a revolving door. You're in a revolving door and it's going round again, round again, round again. But you're not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere. So what this is saying is this is a time to, to realize, right, what is it I want? How can I get that? What is in the way? Get out of that. Who is in the way? Get out of that. And then, even if this is the self, because 9 times out of 10, it's us in our own way. We are choosing, other people can put demands and whatever on us, but ultimately we choose. As I said, we're autonomous here. So what is in the way of our freedom and our present is us, it's us. And this is a time for healing that. When we have this connection to spirit, when we can actually almost develop our clairvoyance and see the future, people say, You know, or I believe it when I see it. It's no see, believe it, and then you will see it. And this is it, when you have ultimate faith in the universe. You know, I do. I have ultimate faith in spirit. Even at times when it gets hard, I know, what is this teaching me? Where are you taking me? Because I know it's somewhere that I could not think with my logical mind. And this moon wants to, it's almost like it wants to pour inspiration to us, okay? Pour this knowledge and this wisdom. And it's like saying, please listen for things, okay? See the signs. All of this, have faith. This isn't so much about speaking, it's seeing, it's hearing, it's noticing, it's allowing them senses to be turned on and tuned in again. There is so much healing energy coming through with this, like so much. Honestly, I could literally cry when I'm reading this, not out of any sadness, out of the sheer emotion that is coming through with this and the changes that we are going to encounter. But the thing is, it wants us to drop our baggage. We cannot carry the baggage. It's too heavy. You know, we cannot do that. I mean, look at these cards. You know, this is me just saying, there you go. You know, that is what it looks like when you're carrying all the baggage from the past. You know, it's heavy. It's heavy. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of energy. We're drab. We're not ourselves. And when we learn the lessons, look at what we get. You know, that is it. Look at the smile there. That's what we realize. That's when we get to enlightenment. And that's really made me think I want to share something with you, if that's okay, when I've just seen that card come out. And this just makes me smile so much. This was, as I said the other day, I come back from the journey and I got a call from my friend. And that was on the phone. I mean, can you see that? You know, just pure laughter, pure joy. And that's what this is saying. So what is getting in the way of our joy and our enlightenment? Because when we talk about enlightenment, it's not just that we shine brighter, it's that we lighten our load. That which we've been carrying. If we're carrying that stuff on our back, we're going to be looking at the floor. We're going to be looking at lower vibrational stuff. When we then take that off, that's when we can stand tall. That's when we can walk tall. And that's what this Pisces moon is wanting us to do. We don't have to go to ashrams. We don't have to go to that to find God. We just realize that we are it. And then we see the humor in that as well. So this is how life is. I'm loving this. I'm really, really loving this. And this is what this Pisces moon wants us to do. It wants us to see the opposite side, whatever we're feeling. Look at the opposite side, because this is the, you know, the polarity. There's always two sides. You know, it's like the yin yang. Has anybody seen the image? I think I've got it saved. Blew my mind, this, like literally blew my mind. And I'm not really a physics person. I don't get that kind of stuff. People try and explain it to me and I don't really understand it. I do, but I don't in the physical terms. So they have been doing studies on like quantum physics and quantum entanglement, okay? Which, you know, I believe that's what love is, quantum entanglement, you know? And when they've actually done the holographic reconstruction of it, look at the shape of it. It's actually the yin yang. Now, what blows my mind about that is this has just been discovered. How the hell do we have that symbol for that unity, that masculine, feminine, that quantum entanglement that has been around for years from, I think it was like ancient China? How did they know that that looked like that? And scientists now have only just discovered that, you know? I don't know, but that proves to me that there is something more. And we aren't the ones that have the knowledge yet, you know, we aren't. There is so much more when we connect. So if you are sitting feeling down now, if you're feeling empty, if you're feeling lost, if you're feeling like something has eluded you, if you're feeling down in the dumps, if you're feeling locked out of life, if you're feeling you haven't been invited to the party or whatever, okay? I want to say to you here, look at what seeds have been planted within you that could be causing this. Because when I'm looking at this, it's the seeds that have been planted. And like I say, look out between now and 23rd of September. There are going to be a lot of seeds planted in our minds, but it's whether we want to water them or nurture them or whatever. Because the seed needs that. It needs us to nurture it in order for it to grow. And what I feel with this is, this could be things people have said to us in the past. All of our trauma stems from either words or actions of people in the past, how it affected us. Who was it I was speaking to yesterday? And they said that somebody said something to them when they were young and they believed that. Because our brain is wired to believe the negative more than the positive. It's harder to believe in ourselves than it is to be down on ourselves. And a lot of people try and keep us down to keep them up, So what this is saying is, what are we allowing to grow? What are we allowing to grow? What has happened in our childhood that, our childhood, our adulthood, our present, our past, whatever. What seeds, even our future, what seeds have been planted that make us think we can't have that? Now, I used to teach, and I used to teach in schools, and I used to teach comp, I used to teach art. And I would go in, and the first thing I would do was I would write impossible on the board. I would get the kids to read it and say, impossible, what does that mean? That it can't be done. It's like, okay, what do you want to be when you leave school? Oh, well, I want to be a footballer, but I can't do that, so I'm going to be a lawyer. So why can't you be a footballer? Well, you like, people don't be professional footballers. Of course they do. There's loads of them out there. Have you never seen the Premier League? Have you never looked at like the World Cup? They're all footballers. Oh yeah, but my dad says that I can't do that. It's like, all right, okay. Do you believe you could do that? Because all these people have done, they've put the work in. It's not just going to get handed to them on a plate, but they've put the work in and they could do it. So you can be anything you want. So then I would go up and I would just change the chalk a little bit where it said, I'm possible. The second we believe in that possibility, then it can become possible. But if we don't believe it, if we're told that that doesn't exist, then we go, okay, it doesn't exist. But who are the ones telling us? It's what we've got to look at. My dad, he tells me, why don't you settle down? Why don't you do this? I says, and be as unhappy as you are. Like, look at the people who are giving you the advice. Are they the people who are living the lives you want to live? Because, I once went to, the doctor sent me to stop smoking. And I went to a smoking cessation clinic or whatever it was. And I said to the woman, I'm really struggling. And she said, oh, yeah, I've been trying to quit for years. And she was there trying to tell me how to stop smoking. And it's like, what? Am I going to take advice off that? My clients that I work with, within my program, that program was wrote on my experience. They know that wherever I take them, I've been. So look at where the advice is coming from, because it's often people with broken hearts or cut off hearts that are giving the advice because they're like, I had to give up, you have to give up, and it's people in pain that usually have most to say. Okay? So this is where it's in. This is where there's a spark. This Pisces moon wants to bring a spark of something. But you're also going to be tempted by that dark side. It's the dark and the light. Which one do you go to? Which one do you go to? Okay? because there's healing needed to be had here, massive healing. There's definitely healing around relationships, definitely healing around love. Then we get the sun, the Two of Cups and the sun, you know. And that's beautiful. Look at that card, the Two of Cups. I love this one because the people aren't in it. The stories aren't in it, you know. If we say the hands are held, there's rainbows, the cups are full. It's beautiful. And that's when we fill our own cup. Then we can be with somebody else who has a full cup. And it's like, wow, come on, yeah. You know, let's share cups. So expect this Pisces moon to maybe bring up past relationships. We've still got Venus in retrograde, remember. She's out of the underworld now. She's been in the darkness and she's coming out of the underworld, but she's coming out in that Persephone sense. She's been there. She's sat with her stuff. She's taken that time to go into herself. She's unraveled the circles of the mind. She's clear, she's concise, and she has an open heart now. There you go. You know, so wow, this is a powerful, powerful time. And she has embraced her shadow, so now she can embrace her light. And she is ready to go, ready to move. Because when you turn your back on the past and what's been, that's when you get the joy, the abundance, everything that is there waiting for us. Let that tower fall, because that is what is keeping us imprisoned, and that is what is keeping us from the magic of the world and the magic of ourselves. And look, there's the infinity symbol again, you know. So I absolutely love this. This is complete death and rebirth, complete transformation. The wheels are changing. The struggle is over if you want it. You know, John Lennon said, war is over if you want it. Exactly. There you go. You either struggle or you know that you're being guided. The star healing. Absolutely beautiful. So it's what do you do? What do you do? It's up to you. Up to you to choose. And this Pisces moon is probably going to, if you're not there, it's probably going to bring some stuff up, okay? But accept it. Don't overanalyze it. Hear it. Listen to it. Say it. Unravel it. This is the beauty in it. Any stuff that comes up, why do you do it? What's that there for? Where does this remind you of? Ask all of these questions. Where is the shame in this? Where is the guilt in this? Where is the judgment in this? Get rid of it all, okay? And see that at the core of it, there is nothing left but love and spirit and amazingness. I'm going to, I was packing and I found these cards and I realized I haven't used these for a while. My spirit cards, they were mentioned the other day and I was like, yeah, they're always so spot on. So I brought them today. So I'm going to pull a couple of cards and then I'm going to go. I have stuff to do. So I'm not going to do for the stars, but for the reading, for the fire signs and stuff like that. But I really feel that this is enough today. This is what I needed to say. The people that need to hear it will see it. And then, you know, let me know if it makes sense. Come on, one more, please. Oh, there you go, there you go, there you go. Yeah, you go. Right, okay. So we have the artist, okay? And this says, you hold the infinite power of creation within you, a divine artist. Create something beautiful today. Feel the stars shining. You are one with the universe and nature. The eternal light of creation shines through you forever. And that's it. We can create anything that we want. Anything, you know. And we're all artists. This is what modern society stops us from creating, okay? We are meant to connect. We are meant to create. They are essential for our soul, Okay? Connection and creation. Communication. Commune. That's what it is. Commune, you know? Communion. This is when we come into this. So we can create the life that we want. But just this is going to ask you what is stepping in your way. And then the next one that come out is silver vibrations. And it says your vibration is being raised to a higher level. You may be feeling that you are in this world, but somehow not of this world. That is so fucking Pisces energy. So fucking Pisces. Huh? This is the magic of creation at work in your life. As silver starlight enters your aura, your energy field is strengthened, giving you a clearer connection to spirit and revealing the greater purpose of your life. So both of them are on about creation. You know, the world, the planet is, the vibration of the planet is rising, and we've got to rise with that, okay? And God, I love this. I really, really love this energy. I'm going to pull one more, okay? And this is guidance for the next 2 weeks until we have the new moon. Free will, okay? And this is saying that we have free will. We're free to make our own decisions, and we remember that we need to take responsibility for any choice that we make, okay? But the thing to do with this is to tap into your heart and see what your heart says, okay? Like I say, we all have soul contracts, we all have stuff like that, but we also have free will to cancel them, to do what we want, you know, and to kind of... They're talking about karmic law there. I want to see what they're saying about karmic law. I'm just going to get it different. As long as we live in accordance with the karmic law. That's what they're saying. Because the law of karma is that it will, what goes around comes around. It will always come back around again. It will always come back around again. So I'm going to pull one more card with this. Is that? They're talking here about something about a blockage in the crown chakra, okay, collectively. And this is where the caution is coming in, okay? So there's caution here. There's caution. There's a lot of mind coming in. Wow. Right, okay. So I'm explaining now. So when they said about that, about the karmic law, it's about, you know, this is where the freedom from the mind comes. When it said free will and it said tap into your heart, because the mind is so prominent here. And I feel this is collective, okay? This is collective energy. And then what we need to do, it's Page of Cups, Knight of Cups. Page of Cups, dare to dream. Knight of Cups, go chase that dream. Or throw your heart out in front of you and then run ahead to catch it, because there you go. That's where the Nine of Cups is. That's where the contentment is. Okay? So that's where you're heading. So I'm going to stop now, you know, because this could just go on and on. I hope that message has landed. I hope that it makes sense to you. And yeah, and I hope that you... I hope it's a message to the collective. I hope you have the courage to live a life true to your heart and true to your soul. Okay? So keep that heart open. I'm sending so much love. Satnam.